And your kids turned out to be pretty smart. Was that genetic?
I don't know. I don't know. I think they were,
Are they smart?
I think they're pretty smart.
I don't feel very smart compared to you.
I think they're all pretty smart.
Yeah.
So I know that mom used to ask. She'd sit in her breakfast when I was taking care of over there, and she'd say,
"Did your mom?" Yeah.
Yeah. She'd say, "Was I a good mother?" I said, "Heck no! Look at the result."
That was your joke.
Yeah, that was my joke. Because there's nothing you can tell your mother about that. I mean, if you butter her up, she's already wise to that. She already knows, and she already has by judging. She's already watched your whole life, so she's judging in her framework whether you were worth the effort, you know. And nobody will be able to predict that. You can't predict from a kid in grade school where they'll go and what they'll do. So you have to just let them. You have to get them all wound up and wind them up and see what happens. So I think that by the time you're in grade school, even your mother's influence is by far, I give it 90% of the impact that you have in the way you go about things, because you spend all day long with her, up until maybe even longer. But the important formative parts, where you're learning to speak and verbalize, and you're learning behaviors, learning guidance, morals, what's good behavior, what's bad behavior, you're all doing that when your mother's the thing that slaps you left, slaps you right, and makes the model, and helps you sort out the external models you get when you first go to school. You go and your first grade teacher says, "We don't do that here." Well, I get to do it at home, well, not here. So you get a new.
Right. And so, what's the father's role then?
Fund it.
Is that it?
No. Roll.
What does that mean?
Just watch and learn.
Watch and learn.
That's the way you learn anyway.
By watching the father.
The way kids learn is they watch. The way the apes learn is they watch. This is how they learn. They watch your lips move, learn to move their lips so they can talk. They watch and learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would
watch.
You
You don't teach so much as you produce learning opportunities.
What do you think I learned from you?
That's a good question. I should ask you that. And you probably don't even know, and you probably are wrong, and you probably have stuff that you didn't think about.
I mean, I learned about hard work. I learned about treating people fairly.
But I never actually made it a point to make that point.
No, I just watched you.
You went and you went to school and you learned to be somebody, and to do that you had to work harder than them or do something. You had to put your energy into it. So and I think you got recognition for that, but not necessarily like the Tooth Fairy kind of rewards. We didn't put dollars under your pillow every time you had a good day.
Yeah.
So you got to also learn your own reward system. That's what sustains you when other people aren't in charge of it, and that's where you want to be. You don't want to have other people in charge of your reward system, so you can just quit whenever you want to.
So you were never trying to be active as a parent, as in do this and don't do that.
Your mom and I put effort into learning our trade as a parent. So we read books. There were a lot of fancy theories going on about that time.
A lot.
And some have been discredited, but they seem to work okay. One of the things we liked a lot was the idea of natural consequences, that we weren't there to make sure that nothing happened to you. Things happening to you are where you learn something. You learn in that instant where something happens. A mistake, a success, an enlightenment, a discovery, any of those things are learning moments, and much better than anything else because they happen just at the right time and they have the emotional impact that goes with it. Rote learning by repetition and drilling and explaining doesn't affect the deep emotional neuron formation that makes it important to know that and makes it lock in. So you get that from making a mistake, A long list you can recall that you made that you say, well, those are dumb things I did.
And that's like on the farm. I mean, that's how you learn on the farm. Yeah. So when you screw up big.
We had places where we could have been hurt badly. Luckily, safety was another thing that I was really serious about. You had to learn your machinery. You had to maintain it. You had to check it. You had to operate it properly. You couldn't do wacky things on your tractors with sharp instruments or with heavy things or things that could hurt you badly. And so there was a whole safety thing. It's not like being overcautious. Just respect the danger. So it's about doing that with your parenting. You let the kid stand over near the shark tank and put his finger in the water. You know, what the heck? It's one finger.